Hi guys, this is Jerry. So, I wanted to come on here and give reassurance to anybody that's watching this or that's seeing what's going on in the world. And honestly, guys, there is tons of stuff that is happening for a reason. And a lot of people don't know the reason. They just think all of a sudden all of this chaos just seems to be like coming out of nowhere, like spilling or throwing up out of nowhere. And again, what we are seeing is we are seeing a small regimen, a small elite, so-called elite class of people that are leaving the earth who have been here for thousands and thousands of years. Everything that has been recorded in the history books has been modified and written by them. Everything that we teach in religion, education that is being taught in the medical system has all been planned and rewritten by them. And whatever you want to call them, they go by a lot of names. And you can call them the Phoenicians, you can call them the Canaanites, you can call them the Dirty Moors, you can call them the Black Hand, whatever you want. Their regime is ending, so does that mean that they're going to leave quietly? That all of a sudden we're just going to be in kumbaya and everything is just going to be good with us? No, everything is going to be in chaos, so pretty much everything has been regarding their satanic and Luciferian worship rituals that we don't realize, and their codes and so forth, and their symbols that they like to put in front of us, and majority of the population does not notice or has not noticed. But one thing that I want to say, and it popped up in my feed, so I wanted to talk about it, was they had technology, and you guys can look it up in the CIA files, was the Looking Glass Project, and they had Atlantean technology, basically where they could see into the future. So, because with this looking glass, not only could they see into the future, they could see interdimensional entities, species, what was going on around the earth, and they were trying their very best to make sure that this stays a prison planet for the majority of the population forever so they can continue their reign. But as they're looking through the looking glass, they realize that around 2026 is basically where things start popping off. And what I mean by popping off is more people start infecting other people. All the people that need to be awakened start to be awakened. And that's why they started to do their agendas a lot more on an international scale, I guess you would say, starting with the pandemic and then continuing with other genocides and other wars. And this is where they started to continue their waves of terror because they know they don't have a lot of time left on the earth. So 2030, their plan was to tie everything together and make sure that this was a technocratic, one world government place, and that we would all be willing to just worship one leader, unite all of the religions, unite all of the leaders into one world government or land or place. It's obviously not happening in their favor, and they did see through the looking glass. They do know what's going on. in multi-dimensional levels, and they realize that no matter what, they've already been checkmated for a very long time. So since they've been checkmated, and now that we're seeing wars going on, a lot of people don't realize why the wars are going on, why it seems like a World War III is going on. It's not that is going to happen fully. It's just that they need to cause terror and fear, because the fear is what controls people. The fear is when you start to give your authority, your sovereignty to the government. Because what do people do in fear? They look for someone to give them the answer. And who's there to give you the answer? It's the government. The government's going to be like, oh, hey, I have this to help you out. I have this to aid you with this, X, Y, and Z. But since a lot of us are awakening, we're not trusting any of these so-called governments or corporations that are called governments, and we're not listening to what the leaders, the so-called leaders, or what the media is telling us anymore for face value, because nothing is face value. Everything is filled with symbolism. Everything is filled with codes to push in our faces. All of that being said, we're basically entering the very final stages, and a lot of us need to awaken. A lot of us are awakening. We're realizing that a lot of stuff was fake. A lot of stuff was scripted to the very T. Almost every part of our entertainment, every part of our media has been to siphon our energy away from us, to control us down to the minutest level. So, if you're going to be one of the people that are afraid, I'm just telling you now that you're going to be one of the people that are going to be controlled by them. If it appears like there's a World War III going on, you should not be afraid. No matter what happens, always listen to your intuition, always listen to what you should do on an instinct level, on a survival level. But it is the biggest indication, all of this stuff that is happening, is that a lot of parasites are leaving the earth. A lot of the interdimensional beings that came to this earth are leaving the earth. A lot of these entities that are not humans, but they appear to be humans, are going to be revealed by the sun, by the rays, by the light, by the entrance of new energies, of more holy energies that are entering. And yeah, guys, I'm just gonna leave it as there. It's basically a message to not be one of the people, not to be one of the herd that is just doing the same thing that everybody else is doing, relying on other people, entities outside of yourself. Not seeing the war and realizing, guess what? That war, it was already funded. That war, it was already planned. That war that's going on is not, the real reason behind it is because there's two families fighting against each other. So they're using other people as carnage. They're using other people for energy, for loosh. So if you realize all of these things, that there's someone in the background. There's a puppet master. There's that guy in the Wizard of Oz that was controlling everything behind the stage. Then you'll realize that you don't want to be a part of the Luciferian stage, puppet stage anymore. Alright guys, I'm gonna leave it as there, so let me know what you guys think, if you have any other comments, and yeah.